All right, so I don't think I've been saying this much on the channel, but I've recently got into Precure, and mostly I started getting to it when it was Delicious Party Precure. That's when I started, and I just continued watching it because I really wanted to get back into the magical girl genre because, I remember liking Sailor Moon just fine, so I just kind of went on a whole kind of other thing. I went to watch Cardcaptor Sakura later, which was even a million times better, and maybe at some point I'll watch the reboot of Sailor Moon. I watched the original season, the first season, and that's it. I heard that the rest of the series is just filler, so yeah, continuing on what I'm just saying. So now we have Star Detective Precure. Now, here's the interesting thing about this series. This series basically takes place in 1999. However, the main character is from 2027. So the series is basically going to end when she gets back into her right timeline. So that's kind of interesting. However, here's the thing. The problem that I have with the series is that it really doesn't feel like she went back to 1999. You know how like shows that involve like, time travel, going back in time or going forward in time, they at least show you the understanding and how, time was different back then or time was different in the future. It kind of has that fish out of water story. Like she's literally from 2027 and she's now in 1999. So it's just kind of odd to me that they don't represent much of 1999. I mean, okay, they have a few things there, but here's my problem. Like, okay, I'm surprised that she's just taking this very well, that she hasn't snapped yet from not using her smartphone, because remember, she's supposed to be a kid, so that's just kind of a thing that you should do, like kind of at least not crazy, but at least reference it. Make her feel like she feels out of place here. And also, it almost feels like this series could take place anywhere, really. I don't really see the 1990s or the 90s aesthetic to it. I mean, you should really put in a lot of 90s stuff. And I understand that people get bothered by a lot of 90s stuff, but if you want to make the series take place in 1999, make it feel like it takes place in 1999. I mean, what else can you do? But anyway, I've been loving the show so far. The story's been really good. However, the theme song hasn't been really doing it for me, but that ED really is awesome.